If you're working on a creative project, but you are finding it difficult to focus, this is an indication that your mind is telling you something, but that you are drawing the wrong conclusion. I've been working with writers and creatives for over a decade now, and one thing I've noticed about the interpretation that they're making around their lack of focus and what they're trying to do about it is that it's clearly not working, otherwise they wouldn't come and seek out a coach. And so I've really noticed that when it comes to being distracted and when it comes to trying to find focus, what we're telling ourselves is absolutely key. And here's where we can start to make shifts. If you're new here and if you're struggling with focus, if you're finding it really hard to stay committed to one project, then that subscribe button is just for you. You're going to find yourself able to really shift the way that you think in this area. So think about hitting that button and joining along. So the one thing that I want to get really clear about in the way that we make a transformation here is to first of all admit that it's not working. Here is where we free ourselves from continuing to try the same thing. So this is when we start to get really clear about what it is we're doing and therefore what it is that's not working. So it may be that you find yourself working on one idea and then getting distracted by another idea. And so what's not working here is your belief that this new idea is somehow going to be different or somehow going to be better, because the fact is it never is. If you're dropping an idea and taking up a new idea, you're simply developing a habit and it will always continue to happen. The other area that we can get distracted is we believe that it's beneficial to be working on more than one project at once or multitasking. We think that that's effective. But again, it's that very interpretation that's causing the distraction. It's preventing us from being really committed to focusing just on one project as the lead project. So just take a moment now to get really honest about the habits that you are continuing to adopt and the areas of focus and distraction and what's really not working. So here's my invitation to you to get really honest. Pop down in the comments below what you now realise isn't working for you when it comes to the area of focus or getting distracted. So whatever your unique little habit is. And now I want to invite you to do it completely differently. So this is a really powerful switch that can bring about really dramatic change. When you find yourself in that place of like, oh, I'm losing my focus, or this new idea is coming along even though I haven't finished this current idea, or I'm feeling really inclined to start multitasking, it's that opportunity to say, just take a pause, and how about if I do the opposite here? So if you find that you've got this inclination to start multitasking, you're going to ask yourself, if I do the opposite is to just stay focused on what I'm doing right now. And it will feel challenging because it will be new, but here's where you commit to just doing the opposite, whatever it is. So you might say to yourself, for the next 24 hours, I'm going to commit to doing the opposite, or for the next 48 hours, or for the next week. Whenever that inclination comes in to start up on a new idea, you're like, okay, what if I did the opposite here? So the opposite is to stay with the current idea. Or if you have a desire to start to work on two things simultaneously, again, what is the opposite? So the opposite is to just see that current project through. So as I said, sometimes it can be useful just to do that for 24 hours, and therefore you're really increasing your capacity to stay focused on one thing. It might be really useful for you to do it for a week if you really want to stretch yourself. But just that one simple technique, what if I were to do the opposite right now? And that means you're going to drop the habit, which is based on that wrong interpretation that this new shiny idea is somehow going to be better, or that multitasking is going to be more beneficial. And it just gives you an experience of seeing what would happen if you do the opposite. And often my clients find themselves really pleasantly surprised. And then they build their confidence, and then they think, wow, I actually can focus, and I find that I'm getting a lot more done. So if you like the sound of this, if you like the sound of this little technique, or you really like the sound of the fact that you might one day be able to finish that current project and achieve creative success, then I would love for you to come and join the community on Facebook. We are there learning lots and lots of tricks and techniques to stay focused, to stay committed, and to achieve whatever that creative dream is, whether it's a book deal, whether it's finishing a script, whether it's just writing a successful blog. So see the link below. Come join us in the Facebook community. I would love to help you along your path to achieve that creative dream. And I'll see you next Monday.